All right, I
Sorry,
think.
Igor.
Oh, never mind. I'm enjoying the conversation actually. Welcome everyone to our short session today on the UTK Online Teaching and Learning Certificate. My name is Igor Akpovo. I am an instructional designer in the Office of Online Learning and Academic Programs. I'm joined here today by the AVP of Online Learning, Josh Steele, and my colleague Chris Emberton. And also joined today by Rosie Sasso, who is working with me on this certificate. And so she is going to be leading with me today. And so that's why she's here. Rosie, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what it is, and then Rosie is going to probably give more details about where we are right now. So this is an asynchronous professional development opportunity, and so we are currently about done designing the course. There are 3 certificates that you can earn once this is ready, and so the 3 certificates. The first one is in online course design. The second one is on online course development, and the third one is on online course delivery and management. And so the way we have structured it might change in the future, is you can either go through one of the certificates, so one of the 3 I just mentioned, or you can go through all 3 of them, depending on, I believe, the requirements from your department. And Rosie, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Well, we can just kind of give everybody a preview of them if you want. I can share my screen.
Okay, yeah.
If you'd like. Let me just get the right window open here. There we go. So this is the course site, and like Igor said, it's still, we're just putting the bells and whistles on it right now. The content is all developed. It's all in Canvas right now. It's not publicly available. We have a few faculty reviewers. Thank you. Sally Harris is one of them, who is reviewing the site for us to kind of get that faculty perspective on each module, just to see how long it takes to go through, if our estimates are off, if there's anything we're missing. So we want to get it in a good position for you to actually go into it and take it and have the benefit of learning what it takes to actually either build a course from scratch online or transition a course that's traditionally face-to-face and moving it online. A couple different avenues, but it's all centered around our experiences and what we think as instructional designers, instructors should know about moving their courses online. So the 3 aspects, like he said, are design, development, and delivery and management. And this is, you can pick and choose which one you want to go through, or go through all 3. Typically, we're saying 2 to 3 hours for each module, and that really just depends on, if you're reading. It is a lot of content. We built in some modules with videos. We built in a little bit of interaction, not so much to provide you instructor feedback as we as the instructors of this training, but just to kind of provide you a space to reflect on what we're sharing with you, and the other users in the course site will be able to answer and maybe bounce ideas off of one another. But this is just kind of an outreach for those faculty or departments who don't fit into what OIT was traditionally using, was the Jumpstart cohorts, but we're now partnering with OLAP to deliver this, so that anyone who wants to just transition their course to the online format can go through this. And it's your self-paced. There's no deadlines for anything. There's no actual deliverables for it. So, but we're excited. I mean, we've been working on it through the summer. We were originally planning to launch it in September, but we got a little behind with the start of classes. So it's in good shape. We just got a few reviewers, and we're looking to actually, launch it October 1st, maybe that first week in October. So So we definitely want people to, be aware of it. We're going to be working on, doing some promotional ideas, whether that's out in the OIT newsletter, the OLAP newsletter, some listservs. So we just want, we want people to be aware of it and go through it and provide their feedback and see what they think.
Thank you, Rosie.
Sure.
So I'll probably going to go ahead and open up to questions. I don't know if I can answer all your questions, but I'm glad Josh is here and Rosie also is here to answer any of the questions that you might have.
Actually, I'll ask a question. Can you talk about, do you see this primarily being for people who are new to online teaching or people who have some online teaching experience and really want to build their skills? Like, who do you see as the main audience and who would get the most benefit out of the various certificates?
I personally think it can be for anyone brand new to online teaching, definitely. Those who just maybe want to enhance some skills or think about things they hadn't thought about before, or that they knew that they should be thinking about, kind of a thing. Because we hear a lot from faculty who have gone through some of these trainings that we've offered that, oh, I just never thought about it from that point of view, or I didn't know I was supposed to know that or supposed to think that way in transitioning. So we've kept it broad enough so that it should meet the needs of first time, newcomers to online teaching, to experts who want to just get a little bit more experience, get some more examples, get some more ideas. So I think originally where this whole project came from, I believe, was the English department wanted something often. And I know Sally might be able to talk more about that. And we just kind of expanded on that and wanted to offer it for any department so that it meets a lot of needs across the UT community. But Sally, yeah, if you have a little bit of idea for that.
Yeah, this is actually looks exactly like what, I haven't delved into it yet, but it looks exactly like what we were hoping we might be able to do for those instructors who wanted to move a course online, but it would not be part of an online program. It would just be an individual course online. So it would not be as intensive as Jumpstart, but it would give them some direction. And so that it would be a way of us in the department knowing that the people who are our faculty who are teaching online have had some training, other than pandemic teaching online, just or emergency remote teaching, whatever, one of the monikers that we had for this past year. But one thing I did think, Rosie, when you were saying about advertising it, I don't know if you could send it out to the deans and department heads list.
Yes, that'd probably be one of the avenues we're going to target for sure.
Okay. And I think that this would be helpful. In our department, we've been able to get stipends for people who, for the first time, complete something like this, as long as too many people don't apply for the stipend all at once. But so that's kind of a sweetening the deal. But that again is our department is able to do that to try and encourage people to take this and compensate the extra work they have to do in order to get their course online. I think so. This looks like it'll be really helpful, and I think it'll be helpful for those who've already taught online before too, just as a refresher and some new ideas. I'm really looking forward to going through it and seeing, what I've been doing wrong.
Yeah.
what I'm doing wrong.
No, it's not to say that anybody's doing anything wrong.
But or what I could be changing and doing more effectively.
Right.
I had really wanted to go to the student collaboration that Irina was doing right before this, Irina and Stephen, but I couldn't. I didn't have time to do that either. But so I'm hoping to get some of that from this. And yeah, I love the idea of a certificate from it too. I think that's really good. and that will encourage, I think, people who even may have experienced teaching online may be coming to do this too, to have more of that certificate to say, look, I've got a certificate in it.
And also, Josh, to answer your question, in addition to what Rosie said, the reason why we also have 3 certificates is if someone is new, then they want to go through all 3 certificates. But someone who is experienced in teaching online may choose only to go through the 2nd or 3rd certificate. I don't know if that makes sense, Josh.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, and I have a question in the chat for Michelle. Michelle, would you mind let's see.
So it looks like the first question is, and we can start with that one. Will this include Canvas-specific guidance, or are instructors directed somewhere else for that content? And then also the same question for accessibility. So is accessibility maybe universal design? Is that discussed within the certificate program?
Oh, okay. Yeah, accessibility and UDL are both discussed in, I think, the first module, right, Rosie?
Yes, it's in, and I could kind of show you what the modules look like here. So we do have, I believe it's down here. Yeah, universal design, plan for accessible and inclusive online course activities. Definitely. And the Canvas specific guidance, yeah, we do point, since this is the tool the university supports, we do point people to Canvas guides or some of the guides we've built in-house on how to use the tools and features within Canvas. In fact, I was just working on one of the pages here just to tweak it a little bit, I believe. Let's see if I can find it. I know I'm flipping through this fast, but it's hard to remember exactly where some of it is. Hang on. Bear with me 1 second. Because I know I saw. It's okay if I can't find it, but we call out specific sections on the page that will say leveraging Canvas. So we highlight specific features and tools within Canvas that you can use, and we point you to the support documents for that. So that you'll see that on the page. It's just a call out box kind of a thing. So yes. And to the second question you had there, I'm not sure, Josh may be able to answer that more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, ask Josh to answer that.
No, I can take that one. It's a great question. So Michelle, the Office of Online Learning and Academic Programs, we of course are invested in the growth of online programs, and historically, the University of Tennessee has had a few. So we know that online program growth I think it's going to play a pretty large part in the Chancellor's strategic vision moving forward. And I think over the course of the next couple of months, we're going to get some more details on that. So for online programs, there certainly will be, we know that if we have online programs, we must have online courses. And so I think tied to that online program growth, we will continue to see an evolution of the types of courses that are offered on campus. Just also being mindful of the types of experience that residential students are still looking for. And I think we want to make sure that we're mindful of the right balance between in-person experiences and online experiences. I think that's what the institution is keeping in mind. So yes, and yes. We're in those conversations, and yes, I think there will be continued opportunities for online course growth in the future.
Josh, I asked because I think that's true about online programs. So where an entire program can be done online, I don't think that's as true for people who want to move individual courses online where the program isn't necessarily online. And I think when you market this certificate program to people, it needs to be clear exactly where it's going to be most beneficial. We had instructors who became certified to teach online, wanted to teach online, and then were told, no, you have to teach in person because everybody has to teach in person in our college. So I just want you to be aware that those mantras are out there. And it's very frustrating for faculty to go through a program like this only to find out that they can't use it.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. So I think what is going to be new and kind of change this a little bit is we are growing our undergraduate degree programs. And as you know, undergraduate degree programs are not centered into one academic unit specifically. So for example, if we are opening up and saying that you can get a bachelor's degree online, well, we need all kinds of courses to support that, not just courses within a specific program, but also general education or the volunteer core courses. So I see that as being a very early opportunity for us to have these conversations, particularly for those courses. And over time, we're going to want to we want to ensure that we're providing the same volunteer experience to online students as we are to residential students. And so choice of courses matters. So I think that over the course of the next several years, it will not just be about when we've thought about programs in the past, when we've been doing completion degrees or master's degrees, where you really can center all of the curriculum within one academic unit. It's going to need to expand. And as we grow those online courses, I think we'll have that flexibility to also open up those seats to residential students who also are looking for a little bit more schedule flexibility. So I think, everyone is aware of these conversations, and it's kind of striking that right balance and the delicate balance to ensure that we know what are the appropriate amount of seats that we continue to free up in an online modality as we transition some of them over from the residential side, if that. So there's a lot of evaluation of that's taking place.
Thank you, Josh. Do we have any other questions or comments? Sally?
Yeah, Josh, I'm still going back to your first question of whether it'll play TLC's Waterfalls when you start the certificate. I'm wondering if you could play a piece of that for me or sing a piece of that for me so that I can know what to expect.
I think it's a great idea.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Mid 90s, I think it is. I want to say like.
Is it okay? I'm trying. I have this sort of vision in my head of what I remember, or I guess music in my head, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna do everyone a favor and not attempt to sing it on this call. Igor, I saw he pushed the record button. I do not want this immortalized for all eternity. So I'll let you look it up. Every time I see TLC, I always think of early to mid 90s R&B music. So.
And that still constitutes new music to me, like Nirvana and REM. That's all like the new college music.
Any other comments?
Just one other question. So I know, Igor, you mentioned at the beginning that the idea was this will support departments and kind of helping faculty go through it. Is it going to be open enroll though? So if people are just like interested in learning more about online pedagogies, is it widely available to anybody just to kind of, hey, I'm interested in learning some more or checking it out. I'm going to click this button and then register in it and see what the first module looks like?
I can step in right now. The course is delivered in our Canvas academic environment, so it is limited to just the UTK community.
Right.
I think that would have to be a bigger decision down the road between maybe you and Jean, even if you wanted to offer it through Canvas catalog, which would be wider.
I meant anybody at the UTK campus.
Yes, then yes, it is going to be an open self-enrollment type course. Exactly. Just give everybody a link and then they'll be able to register for it. Just join the course. You got it.
That leads me, I'm glad you asked that, Josh, because that leads me to another question and about will people who take the course be able to go back to it after a certain time? Will they still be enrolled in it for their time at UT or for the time that it exists so that they can go back to it and check discussion boards? Or because you mentioned maybe people talking to each other, but if they're all at different going through it at different stages.
Yes, it's going to be just an open course. Once it goes live, it's going to stay open. The users are going to stay in the course until we hear from them to say, hey, pull me out. I'm tired of being in there, but do that. So yeah, they'll just stay in there. We won't pull anybody out and they'll have long-term access to it.
And I think based on the last meeting we had, the certificates is going to be a badge, right, Rosie?
Um,
It's the badge,
I
like we
think
did.
so. I think that's what we finally decided on, just a little
Yeah.
badge. But we can
Mhm.
also offer a printable PDF, kind of come up with a certificate that they can download.
We have about 5 more minutes left for any questions, thoughts.
How would that certificate be shared with the departments? How will people show their department heads or their department online coordinators, yes, I completed this?
I think the proof
Or
of
the badge.
completion would be a badge, the badge, or what Rosie mentioned earlier. We can have something printed for them. That's correct, right, Rosie?
Yeah, so what we've got it planned right now is in the modules, there's certain requirements they have to meet, whether that be taking the knowledge check or,
Mhm.
posting to the reflection discussion board. And once they complete those activities, then the certificate and the badge get released to them as evidence that they've completed going through all of the content.
So when I've used badges before, it's just in Canvas, right? The badger in Canvas, is that
Right.
what you're using? And then,
Right.
so then would I just take a screenshot of that?
You can, but
Or-
you can also, in the account part of Canvas,
Mhm.
your badges are there that you can actually download and use them on LinkedIn and Facebook. You
Oh.
can actually download the badge itself,
Okay,
take it from there and take it
So-
outside of Canvas.
okay. And does it come up, and I ask this partially because I have a downloaded badge from Adobe and I don't really know what to do with it. This is
Mhm.
from like 2019 or something. I did some Adobe thing.
Right.
So can you embed that in, a portfolio or a website or something? That is it a link or a QR code, or how does that
Typically,
transfer?
It's a link. And actually what I do, let me see if I can get out to it here real quick. I believe you can embed them. I haven't done that in a while.
Mhm.
But what I typically do is just share a link to where all my badges live in Badger.
Mhm.
And let's see, where's my,
I'd like to pick up on what Sally was asking about. It would be really helpful if somewhere in the certificate program, there was an indication of how to make the certificate or the badge talk to elements, since that's what's used for most faculty evaluation. That's the easiest way to make department heads or unit heads aware of what faculty have completed, and also for the university to be able to track how many people have gone through as part of the reporting system.
that's a good point.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, Michelle. Thank you. We can. We had a team member from Faculty Affairs who was on the call just a little bit ago, and she dropped off. But we can definitely see if there's a way that we can have those systems talk to each other.
So yeah, the only thing I can share my badge collection with a link. I can post it to Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, or I can get the HTML code and embed it on a web page. So there's a couple different ways of doing that through Badger. Just getting the badge itself as an image file. I also just have a folder full of those that if anybody ever needed to ask, I could say, hey, I did that. But typically I just make a collection in, the Badger environment, which is outside of Canvas.
I think Rosie, we might probably think about how we can,
Yeah.
we look into how the badges can be shared, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
yeah. So Michelle, so we haven't really looked into that yet, so we might be able to find something. We haven't thought about really sharing the badges through the YouTube system, right? Making Canvas a badger or talk with elements and stuff. But we'll look into that and see by the time this is launched. Probably, Rosie, when we launch it this semester, it's probably going to be for the English department for now, right? And then
No, as far as I'm aware of, it's going to be launched for everybody.
comes right. Okay.
Yep. Hopefully in a couple weeks.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for coming, for joining us today. If you have more questions, feel free to email me or email Michelle. We'll get back to you as soon as we can, and be in the lookout for our email when we do launch this professional development opportunity. And I hope to see some of you at our brainstorming sessions later today or tomorrow.
Thank you guys. I'm really excited about this. Thanks.
Welcome.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.